UFC Fight Night, UFC Vegas 82, Allen versus Craig just took place, and last night. I'm gonna go through the full card recap. I need to take a breather. Why am I breathing so loud? Finally, full card recap. Starting with the early prelims, and with the main event. Let's get started with the early prelim opener of Rafael Esteban versus Charles Johnson. I don't know why people are picking Johnson here. I think his main weakness is the grappling. I don't know why people are picking him. I picked Esteban to win this one with the grappling, and that's what he exactly did. He won this with the grappling, and he out-wrestled Johnson in the first 2 rounds, but Johnson had a good third round. And maybe if this was a 5-rounder in some world, Johnson probably would pull ahead and win. But too little, too late. You knew that, Johnson, and you lost. Esteban gets to win. Good win from Esteban. Maybe he has a bit of... I don't think he's that good, but he won against Johnson. He proved he was better than Charles Johnson. We move on. Up the card. Nicholas Motta versus Trey Ogden. Trey Ogden, I feel bad for him. I hate when this happens as well. He was dominating Nicholas Motta. Not dominating, but comfortably winning. 1 round 1. 1 round 2 by hurting Motta here and there. But Motta had a good round 2. No. Motta, round 1 was Ogden. Outstruck Motta. Done, just like that. Round 2, Ogden was outstriking him, but Motta had a good moment where he landed a shot. Ogden kind of got stunned for a second, but that doesn't steal you around. But for the rest of the round, Ogden just outstruck him. Ogden wins the round. And round 3, Ogden was just on top, going for an arm triangle. And Motta... Robbie Lawler, Ben Askren. Like, this happens with everything. Why wasn't Lawler Askren in no contest? Basically the same thing, but Ogden was winning. He was winning the whole fight. Alright? Only for the arm triangle. Motta couldn't give a thumbs up. Not his fault. He couldn't give a thumbs up. Alright, you're probably asking, why couldn't he? Because he was trying to defend the choke. Because his hand was in there trying to defend it. If he let go and put a thumbs up, he's getting choked out bad, and that's over. Alright, so there's no point. So the referee just stepped in. He should have just shook Motta's arm. Motta was trying to, defend the sub. You know, you can't really see it from that area. You should look at his eyes, in my opinion. You should look at Motta's eyes to see if he's out. If it's just, Ogden should even look, Ogden should help the ref and say, oh, he's probably out. You should stop the fight. But Ogden was just doing his job. Ogden was robbed of victory. And we see Motta in the UFC still. He's not good. Someone else KOs him, in my opinion. But Ogden got robbed of a win. Winning that fight. Should have went for an arm triangle, you bitch. But anyways, Ogden did what he needed to do and got robbed of the whole actual fight. So sad for Ogden. He's actually underrated as well. We move on up the card. Aylin Perez versus Lucy Podilova. Lucy Podilova just got out-grappled by Perez, who's decent at grappling, I guess. I guess she's that good. But Lucy Podilova, I don't even know. I was saying to myself, if she beat Lucy Podilova, she's actually kind of good. And she did that. She is decent, Perez. She's a good wrestler, I guess. Because she's got big legs. She's small for the division. I want to say this in this way, but she's a tanky person, let's just say. So she can just wrestle heavy. She's kind of like a shorter version, more tankier version of Mackenzie Dern, who has longer limbs. In that kind of sensitive way. Alright? She's like a female Volkanovski, basically. She won against Podilova, who's just... Jocelyn Edwards, she arguably beat her, and she just loses to Perez, who just out-grappled her. Podilova had moments, but got out-controlled in that fight. Podilova loses. Not a good fighter. I'll speak to someone in a second, but yeah. Good stuff from Perez. I got that one wrong. Another one I got wrong, though. Jekka Seragi versus Lucas Alexander. Alexander gets slept out cold. Sucks for Alexander. Badly. Jekka Seragi is shit. I'm not going to just be like, oh, what a savage this guy is. No. He's getting pieced up in that fight, getting outstruck as usual. And he finds the big KO shot that he couldn't find on Anshul fucking Jubilee. This sport makes no sense. Mike Breeden found the chin of fucking Jubilee, but fucking Jekka, the big scary power puncher, couldn't do it. And got exposed with the grappling. He's shit. Like no one like that style makes it to the top. No one does. You can name Gaethje and shit, but Gaethje got thrown right in the top 5 and got the wins that he needed to. Duplessis is actually smart. Actually, how the fuck did he make it? He might beat Strickland and be the world champ, which is just a bit embarrassing. I mean, this is before the Whittaker fight. When he beat Whittaker, he proved he was actually pretty good. Really good. He beat Whittaker, champion B of the division at the time. So he's an exception. Jekka lost to Anshul Jubilee. Fuck him. We move on. Up the card. Mick Parkin versus Kyle Machado. Kyle Machado. Close fight. It's a close fight either way. I was glancing over at this one. Parkin was looking good. Probably lost round 1. Won round 2. Machado can win round 3. It's a boring fight. Who cares? Parkin didn't look that great in hindsight, let's be real. Maybe he had an injury this time, because in his debut, he actually looked really good against Jamal Pogues. He looked good against Jamal Pogues. So I was like, he's actually decent, but then he looked kind of mid here. Whatever, let's see what he looks like in his next fight. Train with Aspinall, you idiot. Train with Tom Aspinall. He'll teach you a fucking whole lot. And he'll get you better in shape as well. So yeah, decent win from Parkin, nothing too great. We move on. Up the card, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Dennis Tululin. Good win from Christian Leroy Duncan. Easy work, he beat Dennis Tululin. I actually didn't predict this fight, because I made my full card predictions and I picked Duncan against Almeida, that last guy he was supposed to fight, but I was picking CLD on Tapology. And CLD got the win. Good win for CLD. He got the win. Looked good. Boring fight against the clinch, but he found the big elbows and punches in the clinch. He put down Tululin, who's not even that good in hindsight anymore. Yeah, good stuff from CLD. He's back. And, yeah, he looked good here. Looked really good. Tululin came out early, storming, but it just wasn't enough. Tululin probably thought, fuck, I'm just gonna go through this make the big storm early. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm fucked. Basically, we move on. Up the card, Jose Johnson versus Chadden Helliger. Chadden Helliger showed up, but he lost. And he's not good. Not good. The card got way better as it went on. The first part of this card was actual shit, but yeah, Jose Johnson got the win. Comeback win, probably. It was even in rounds. And Helliger did good on top control here and there, but Johnson came back with the rear naked choke victory and beat Chadden Helliger. So good performance by Johnson. I picked him to win as well. I picked Parkin and Johnson to win. And I also picked Brito, who just won in the main card opener, or the prelim headliner, against Jonathan Pierce. Pierce looked good. Brito could have KO'd him in the feet, though. He really could have. And Brito's good. I like Brito. I think someone that's tough and can grit down would beat him. He looked good, but in hindsight, he kind of just beat bums. Like, Weston Wilson's not that good. Lucas Alexander in hindsight's not that good either. And before that, he beat Andre Fili, which is a good win. But I think that was just one out of nowhere in a million. Not a million, but that was just so unlikely. I think that was a bit of I wouldn't say fluke, but he just threw in the freaking, he just got the low chance of KOing Feely type thing. But he looked good, got the win, was rocking Pierce on the feet, had a few submission attempts. Pierce was looking good as well, but Pierce was saying stuff from I don't even know what he said. He's saying stuff like, I don't even know what did he say again? Like fucking, you're not doing too good type thing. I don't know what he said. I forgot. I'm just gonna skim over that part. But he got the guillotine win over Pierce. Good win, cause Pierce. This is kind of like this is what this reminds me of. Pierce hanged in there, did well, but it's like he needed that loss. This is what Yuri Prohaska needed against Pereira. Like, these guys are on winning streaks looking good, but they're not looking great. You know? They're not looking great. Like, Darren Elkins is like the equivalent of Yuri versus Glover for Pierce. And Elkins and Yuri and Glover. They're not looking good, but they get the win. Alright? I know Pierce dominated Elkins, but he didn't look great in that fight. Then he lost. He looked kind of good here, but then lost. So Pierce will grow as a better fighter, in my opinion. Same with Yuri. So these guys, watch out, will come back as monsters. I'll come back to this when they both get their next wins. We move on up the card. Mitibek Orlbai versus Uros Medic. I picked Medic here. Again, they stepped up on short notice. Orlbai looked good. Got stormed early on by Medic on a few days' notice, so good for him surviving it, but he's a good wrestler. Good grappler, just drowned and freaking dragged down Medic, and eventually got the rear naked choke win. Overall in the fight, neck crank rear naked choke. He's good. Good win from Miktebek. That's the way I even pronounce it. Miktebek. Orlbai got the win. Good stuff from him. We move on up the card. Amanda Hebos versus Luana Pinheiro. I was worried for Hebos. She got a good KO with a wheel kick. If she just got a decision, I'd been like, arguably she probably was losing round 3, so she got the win. Good for her. Awesome wheel kick. I think she just threw it out there though, but she kind of looked like she was kind of like, okay, here we go, wheel kick. You know, good stuff from Amanda Hebos. She won. Very good work. Early on though, Pinheiro was landing shots on her, and one thing that Hebos is terrible at is when someone tried scrapping with her, she scraps back, like she can just scrap back. This is what Macy Barber kind of just exposed her on, in my opinion. When someone tries scrapping with her, she should be, all right, jab, jab, move, leg kick. But she tries scrapping back in the pocket, and it's just, that's what Macy Barber capitalized her on and KO'd her. And Hebos got exposed. She still did it in this fight and lost round 1 because of it. She took her shots, but Pinheiro seems shit. At least Macy Barber has skill and has somewhat of power, unlike Pinheiro. Round 2, you know. What's it called? Round 2. What is it? Oh, Amanda Hebos was looking good again. Kind of won round 2 for herself. I'm not going to lie. She kind of won round 2 for herself. And then round 3, she got the wheel kick. I think she had a good performance, good wheel kick KO. But I'm telling you, like, I think if she does, she always just scraps. And it's so worrying sometimes. She did the same shit against Rodriguez. And she does it a lot. So I don't know what's next for her. Maybe you do her versus like she beat Arawaho, to be fair. That is something she did do. Dominated Arawaho as well. Not like she just beat her. She dominated her. That was a good win. That's the only fight where she actually won and looked good. That was probably her best performance of her whole career. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, good stuff from Amanda Hebos. We move on up the card. Peyton Talbot versus Nick Aguirre. Fuck. I said it. Nicholas Aguirre. Nick Aguirre. Nicholas Aguirre. I'm just gonna call him that. Nicholas Aguirre had his back in round 1. Had a good round 1, Nicholas Aguirre. And Peyton Talbot kind of seemed like jittery out there early. But round 2, Peyton Talbot just started putting it on. And, won round 2 and got the finish in round 3. Good stuff from Peyton Talbot. Really good stuff. Good win. Yeah, we move on up the card. Chase Hooper versus Jordan Levitt. Yeah, Chase Hooper got the win. Good win from Chase Hooper. Really good stuff. I thought he was going to lose this one. And it looked like that was going to be the case early. I mean, they were all scrambling early. No one was really losing, but he got the rear naked choke in the scramble and out jiu-jitsu'd Jordan Levitt. To where Paddy Pimblett couldn't do that. Paddy Pimblett could not do that. And people say jiu-jitsu is Pimblett's best move, the game. But he had to, hurt Jordan Levitt with a knee in the clinch and then get the rear naked choke. To where Chase Hooper just got the better of the scramblings against Jordan Levitt. Jordan Levitt's good at grappling as well, so really good stuff from Chase Hooper. On a 2-fight winning streak. I don't know who Chase Hooper beat in his last fight. Before the Levitt fight, I think he beat Nick Fiore. And he beat Guida in a grappling match. Really good stuff there as well. But he's good. Good win from Chase Hooper. He looked good here. Improving as a fighter, which I like to see. So I'd do him versus Nate Landwehr. Wouldn't mind him in those type of fights now. Damon Jackson versus Chase Hooper. Wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be a fun one. Let's do that then. Chase Hooper, Damon Jackson. Both wicked at jiu-jitsu. Who did Jackson? Did Jackson, or maybe do Chase Hooper versus Pat Sabatini, who recently lost. That'd be a wicked jiu-jitsu match. Maybe Chase Hooper, Diego Lopez, but I doubt they do that. I think Lopez is highly unranked, and I think he's not ranked, but he's highly unranked compared to Chase Hooper, who's lost a few fights. So yeah, maybe do Chase Hooper, Pat Sabatini. Winner moves on to the Quarantellos, Jacksons, Lopez's, those type of areas. We move on up the card. Michael Morales versus Jake Matthews. Matthews just kind of got appointed for 2 rounds. Round 3 was just an either-way toss-up round. Very, very boring fight for Michael Morales. Terrible fight, actually. I'm going to say that as well. What a shame fight. I mean, terrible fight. Good stuff from Morales, though. Very boring. Very, very boring fight. Morales typically has boring fights other than when he finishes guys like Adam Fugit in that division. So yeah, good stuff from Morales. We move on to the main event. Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig. Brendan Allen. He's nothing to just bluff at, man. He's really good. I picked him to beat Paul Craig, but I thought he was gonna get a KO on the feet. Because Allen has some good striking here and there. And I'm gonna say it. If Brendan Allen fought Khamzat Chimaev, I know this sounds insanely crazy. I'll talk about the performance by Allen in a second, and the post-fight interview, but still. If Allen fought the guys like Khamzat Chimaev or something, I think he could win. Because he's that good, in my opinion. And Chimaev looked mid against a welterweight in Kamaru Usman stepping up on short notice. I know he hurt his arm, but do you really see Chimaev out-grappling Brendan Allen? Just easy? Usman doesn't have the jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have the jiu-jitsu. Li Jingliang doesn't have the jiu-jitsu. Kevin Holland does not have the jiu-jitsu. All compared to the level of Khamzat Chimaev. Holland has some, but fuck off. It's from a fucking black belt from, he just got gifted a fake black belt, basically. Khamzat Chimaev, though. Brendan Allen, though. Let's talk about him. Fuck Chimaev. Good win from Brendan Allen. Got the job done. Very good stuff from Brendan Allen. Went out there early. Went on top of Paul Craig. Craig had a calf slicer at one point, which is insane. Craig is insane with that, but Brendan Allen went out there. Out-wrestled him in round 1, basically. Round 2, won the round, obviously. Round 2, he rocked Paul Craig. And I was like, at first I watched this live, I was like, why are you not KOing him on the feet? Said you're risking yourself to beat Paul Craig on the ground. But then I was like, Brendan Allen likes to prove points. Did this against Muniz. Did this now against Craig. I bet you Allen, if he fought Adesanya, if he needs to, he'll grapple, but I bet you would try striking. This is what he did against Strickland, and it didn't pay off, actually. Opposite of that. got whooped and got KO'd, but was doing well in that fight. He's a good striker, all well-rounded. I want to see him versus top guys. He called out, Hamzat Chimaev, but he said something else. But then he's called out Cannonier, Whitaker. I wouldn't mind any of those fights, to be honest with you. And he took no damage here, which is good. And he got the rear naked choke in round 3, obviously, as well. On Craig, which is crazy. So good stuff from Allen. Sucks for Paul Craig. Retire, man. You're still good. You're still intact. You'll never be a world champion anywhere, other light heavyweight or heavyweight. I don't care. Like, you couldn't beat fucking Ozdemir. That's a big red flag. I know Ozdemir's kind of good, but he's not great. You know, good fighters will beat him. And Craig couldn't. So, yeah. You should... I know you beat Jamal Hill. Good win over Jamal Hill and Ankalaev. But those are good wins. Don't get me wrong. And Krylov's a good win as well. He got all those 3 wins. Call it quits right now, man. Call it quits. You're not going to go on another 5-fight winning streak. I know Brunson did it. Like, people are like, oh, Brunson did it. But Brunson... I don't even know how Brunson made it to the top. Thank fuck Cannonier knocked him out. Imagine he beat Cannonier, he would have gotten a title shot. And got embarrassed by Adesanya again. Oh, fuck. Imagine he beat Adesanya. Thank fuck for Cannonier, man. I don't even like Cannonier, but thank fuck he destroyed Brunson's ass. Good stuff, though. From Brendan Allen. Yeah, do him versus Whitaker. Why not? On the February card, Volkanovski to Puria. I think they're going to go back to, like, New Zealand or something. Or Australia again, somewhere else, like Melbourne or something. How about you do Whitaker versus Allen on that card? Those other great names on that card as well. Maybe Izzy makes his return on that card in the co-main. Who knows? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Full card recap.